So when we do the exercises, we want to make sure that we really form these exercises as well as we possibly can. We want to give them a good form right through to the extremities of the body, not leave different parts of the body neglected. But we have to take a bit of care that we don't do this in a way that is too laborious. Sometimes you can think, right, I've got to really form right through to the end of my fingertips, and everything can become, really kind of heavy and forced. So what I'd like to focus on today is in our forming activity that we have the right balance between a clear mental picture and our willpower. The clearer our mental picture is of what we're going to do before we do it, the more easily the body actually knows what to do. The body can sort of come into it lightly and clearly and freely. So that's going to be our theme for today: clear mental picturing, and then a light, free use of willpower in order to come into a very clear form of the exercises. So we'll start with the sun prayer. So a good clear form from the soles of the feet, which are firmly on the ground, right up to the fingertips. Let's first start just with this position, the standing half moon, so that we can feel a sense of that clear form. The feet and the legs are drawn together, quite a tightness, and the body stretches up right through to the fingertips, and take the hands down again. So we're going to come into the sun prayer movement quite quickly, so that we can just get a feeling of free flowing movement, not too sloppy, but not too forceful either. Just keeping it light and free, hands together, taking the arms up, a good point at the fingertips, and then coming down and take your right foot back. Take the arms up above your head, growing up into the half moon, and then come into the plank, firm line. Take the knees, chest and forehead down, slide forwards and open into the cobra. Push into the downward dog, triangle, and take the right foot forward. Coming up into the half moon again. Take the left foot forward, come right the way up and grow, and take the hands by your sides. Hands together. Take the arms up, streaming right up through. Take the hands down next to your feet. Left foot back, growing into both your legs, and coming right up through to the fingertips. Take the hands down, come into the plank, and then take the knees, chest and forehead down, slide along the ground and open into the cobra. Push into the downward dog. Left foot forward, up into the half moon. And the right foot forward, and come up once again, and take the hands by your sides. Let's do another round just to keep it going, get that momentum going. Take the arms right up, good long stretch through. Let's think more of the length this time. So you can grow back long into your back leg and long through your back and arms to the fingertips. Then the plank, a long, firm line. Knees, chest and forehead down, coming forwards, and make a long line in the cobra, curled line. Now a long dog, long legs, long back, long arms, right foot forward, and long tail with your back leg, streaming up through the long back and arms to the fingertips, and the other foot forward. Again, think of long legs growing up, back, down, And then long stretch up through the whole body, hands by your sides. Once again, hands together. Right up high, going right through to the fingertips. Come down, good length. Left foot back, growing long back into that leg. Right up through the spine, up to the fingertips. Then the plank. Knees, chest and forehead down. Cobra. Downward dog. Left foot forward. Right up high, right through to the fingertips. And the other foot forward, looking down. And then come right the way up and grow, streaming right up through to the fingertips. And take the hands by your sides. So when we think of forming the position right through, one part that can be neglected is the chest area, because we tend to have less awareness of that part of the spine, and we tend to hunch over like this. So I'd like to come to Warrior Two, and I'd like to focus on really stretching and lifting up this breastbone here when we're in the position. I'll just show you what I mean. So in Warrior Two, we need to keep an open position. As you know, it starts like this. And when we come into the position, making sure that you don't end up closing your chest, but really stretch through this area here so that your arm is alongside your ear. And we'll make a point of really trying to keep that chest open. We continue that form from the foot right through to the fingertips. And finishing off like that. So if you'd like to take your right foot to point towards the end of the mat, knee bent vertically over your ankle. Try and open up your hips. Take your hands out like this, breath flowing. So now take your left arm up by your ear, paying attention that you really find this openness of the chest. Take the right arm onto your leg, and as you stream through, breath flowing, be aware of that chest area, as if you're opening your breastbone out to the front. And the form streams right through from the foot, right through to the fingertips. Keep the legs bent, come back into that horizontal plane with your arms, and then straighten up the legs. Relax your arms, change the feet around to the other side. Arms out sideways again, and bend the left knee directly over the ankle. Take the right arm up by your ear and pay attention to that chest region. There should be a real feeling of stretch in your upper side. Take the left arm onto your leg and now stretch right through the body, and pay attention that you're opening the breastbone out to the front. So it feels almost as if you're twisting your chest, your thorax, we can say, forwards to keep it really open. And the form continues right through from your foot to your fingertips. Keep the leg bent as you come back, and then straighten up the leg, relax the arms. So there's the more difficult version of Warrior Two, which I'll show you, and you can do it as an option, or you can repeat the one we've just done. And this more difficult version, now you don't rest the hand on your leg. We'll start by taking this arm up as before, but this time the other arm comes down inside the leg. And we do the same thing as before, but you're really using the muscles of your leg now. And I want to keep the awareness on that thorax, that it's not tipping forwards too much. Coming back, keeping the leg bent, and then straightening up. So if you'd like to do that, taking the right foot to face outwards, hips open, bend the leg, take the arms into the horizontal to start with, then take the left arm up by your ear. So with your right arm, you can choose, either you can rest it on your thigh, or you can take it down inside, and keeping that chest open. And you can see if you can get just the fingertips of your right hand just touching the floor lightly without any weight on them. Doesn't matter if they don't get all the way down. Keep the leg bent, come back up to the horizontal, and then relax your arms. Change the feet around. Arms to the horizontal, take the knee over your ankle. Take the right arm up by your ear, and then with the left arm, you can either rest it on the thigh or take it down inside. And as you come further into the movement, think of that opening of your chest again out to the front. Breath flowing, so we're going right through from the foot to the fingertips, keeping the chest opened out to the front. Take the arms back to the horizontal, straighten up the leg and relax the arms. So let's come into this forward bend, keeping the legs apart. Glide outwards with your hands lightly along the ground, no weight on them. And let's once again pay attention to this thorax. You're growing right through to your chest as if you're directing your breastbone forwards. So we want to form the body right through the whole body, not neglecting part of it, but including that sense of lifting the chest. And you can also raise your head a bit and look forwards, and that can help you get that feeling of working right through to the chest as well. Relax down again, come right the way up. This is a triangle shape that we make, or pyramid we could call it. You've got that wide form, triangular form of your legs, rising up to the point at the fingertips. And be aware that your chest is really integrated into that form. The chest is not sort of hunched over, but the breastbone is really lifted as part of this shape. And then take the hands down. So the next one that I'd like to come to is the inclined plane. So can you, in fact, bring my camera a little bit closer. So come down onto your mat. And let's start actually just by preparing with this same movement that we lift up the chest. We can keep the hands, we'll do a few preparations that are suitable even if you don't want to actually put the weight on your arms and hands. So this movement is to get the feeling once again of this lifting of the breastbone, so that when we come into the inclined plane we can form the position right through the whole body. You can feel how your thoracic spine between the shoulder blades has to work to do this. You can literally draw the shoulders together. Relax again. Let's do it with single arms. So as you take the arm up, we can have that sense of forming right through. The legs are straight, they're together, the feet are together. You can think of lifting your breastbone from there so that your chest opens up, and then the movement glides right through to the fingertips, through the arm
Arm is straight, whole thing is right the way through to the end. And then the other side, legs and feet together, lifting the breastbone so the movement has an integrity. It flows right through, it's formed right through to the end. The breastbone is lifted. We work through the arm to the fingertips and right back down again. So if you want to come into the actual inclined plane, again, we're going to try and not let it become too sloppy. So we don't want the feet to go apart too much. We don't want the chest to be hunched in, but rather we want to form it in such a way that the legs are firm, then the chest is lifted and the head is dropped back right through. So when you're ready, take your legs together and then lift your hips right up high and grow right through the back, opening up the chest and dropping the head right back down behind. And then come back down to sitting position again. Good, that was very good. So we'll do it again and we'll hold it a little bit longer this time. And you can just make a mental note that you lift your hips a little bit higher than you did last time. If the hips are sagging too much, then that has knock-on effects. You can't get your chest high enough, your neck feels constricted when you drop it back. So if you can get a really good thrust with your hips right from the start, it helps the other parts to fall into place. So we're going to hold it maybe for about 30 seconds this time. Start with your feet together, hands placed on the ground, and then when you're ready, we'll think of the hips coming up as high as we can and forming the position through the remainder of the body. So when you're ready, get set and come right up. Drop the head back. And now let's keep in mind this picture, this mental picture, that the body is shaped, is formed right the way through, from the feet, through the legs, lifting up the hips, through the spine, through the upper spine, the breastbone is lifted, chest is opened, and the head is dropped right back. Breath flowing freely. And then come back down again. Good. So let's come to another position where we have a good form. And let's do the lying triangle, the side lying triangle. And this is another one where we can make sure that we form the body right through to its extremities. So I'm going to demonstrate again so that you've got a good mental picture. And we're lying on one side and we're forming a line, not a sloppy line, not a banana-shaped line, but a really good horizontal line. And then when we lift up the leg, again, we're going to form it right outwards. So both legs are growing right out to the ends. So not sort of bent, not pulling the foot towards you, but a clear movement that goes right out to the extremities. And with this hand, also right out to the end. So a good, well-formed position. So if you'd like to lie on your left side, and we'll start with this really good clear line along the ground. Breath flowing. Make sure that the head is relaxed, resting on your arm. Then when you're ready, you can take the right leg right up high and make sure you're growing through both legs. Remember, you can twist that foot a bit so that it helps you to get the leg, it changes the angle in your hip and you can get the leg up higher. Then finish off the triangle by directing your arm upwards. You can take hold of the toes or the foot or the ankle, but you're never pulling the foot. The movement is outwards from the center into the periphery. And don't forget that leg that's on the ground, that reaches right out away from you. The side of the body and the arm on the ground reaches in the opposite direction. Everything is formed through to the end. Come back down again and change over to the other side. So lie on your right side, stretched along the ground. Good horizontal line, head is relaxed. When you lift your left foot, remember you can twist the foot a little bit to point towards the ceiling as you come up. So let's form the position now. You grow into both legs, really lengthening the legs outwards. Finish off that triangle lightly with your hand. The head is relaxed on the arm. The breath flows freely. The form continues right through to the extremities in all directions, moving from the center outwards. And come back down again. Let's change sides once again. Come into the lying position on your left, forming a horizontal line. And let's just pause before we start to make a clear mental picture. Now that you've got a clearer idea of what you're doing, I'd like you to picture the position first. We have almost a star-shaped movement. The center of the star is actually the solar plexus in the middle of the body. And this star is radiating out in all directions through the limbs. So if you could picture that movement, and we want those radiations to go right through to the extremities. When you have a clear mental picture, then the body knows what it has to do. So you can come up with your right leg and finish off the triangle with the right hand. So keep the mental picture in your mind, that radiating out in all directions from the center right through to the tips of the extremities. The head is relaxed. Come back down again and change over to the other side. So the body is placed clearly along the ground. Just pause again, make your mental picture like a star radiating from the solar plexus center out to the tips of the fingers, the feet. And then when you're ready, come up with your left leg and finish off the position with the left hand. Breath flowing gently. Stay with the mental picture like a star radiating from the center outwards in all directions. And then come back down again. And relax. And come back up. So I'd like to finish off in a standing position. I'd like to finish off with doing a movement which is called the wide circle, or the circle of the sun. To do this exercise, the form of the body is very narrow. You can take your legs together, your feet together. And this is going to be contrasted
by a very expansive movement of the arms, which is a symbol for expansiveness, the infinity of the space that surrounds us. So once again, we're going to form this movement clearly, but not in a forced way. We're going to form it out of having a picture. So before you start, the circle that we're going to picture is a great big wide circle like that. I'd like you to just picture that circle, and we're going to form it with both hands, but out of the mental picture. If the mental picture is clear, the movement happens in a very free and natural way. So when you're ready, you can allow the arms to form this infinite circle, this wide circle, the expansive circle. Body is narrow and well formed as a central axis, and the arms are very free and wide. Circle is a symbol for infinity. And you can allow the breath to follow the movement in a very natural way. And relax your arms by your sides. Be aware of your breath. And we'll finish the session there.